welcome back to our next episode. So, my name is Obi,
And I am Kate,
and we are your
Millennial Manager.
Millennial Managers PH.
Yay!
Yay! We're back! Oh my God, fourth episode. Who would have thought that we'll reach this far? Sure. It's been a month, no? It's been a month doing this podcast thingy.
Oh,
Okay. And yeah, kamusta? How was your week? How was your week, Kate?
Ako, there had been some exciting things in the background na nangyayari. Kumbaga, things that I'm looking forward to are slowly progressing. So, parang OMG, yes. But at the same time, parang after 6 months of not having yung time for myself, parang being very busy at work, parang I'm slowly navigating again through life. Yung feeling ko right now, sa totoo lang, parang I'm on reboot na tinatry ko ulit, paano nga ba maging tao? Kasi as in, parang ngayon lang yung period na wala akong something na talaga pinagkahabalahan or hindi ako sobrang busy after almost a year. Ayun. So parang right now I'm trying to find my feet back to my personal being. And at the same time, parang syempre a time to restart again sa work kasi nga parang bagong ano na naman, fiscal year. So parang
Bagong
okay.
fiscal year?
Oo, ayun. So parang hindi naman ako totally nahihilo, pero kumbaga parang nandun yung challenges this week particularly na ay, ano nga bang gagawin ko para mabuhay ulit or parang ano nga ba.
Ano bang mga ginawa mo this week para mabuhay ulit?
Well, as usual, nag-gym. Ay, tapos pala, kasi parang I'm struggling personally right now sa weight ko or parang sa physical image ko. So, nag-ano na ako ulit, nag-subscribe ako ulit for a meal plan. Parang kaka-order ko lang ulit. Pero parang dapat kasi di ba nagluluto ako, ganyan tinatry-try ko magluto. Kaso parang ma-try nga ulit mag-meal plan. Though ginawa ko na siya dati kasi hindi ko na-sustain, kasi hindi ko nakakain. Pero I think right now kaya ko na ulit mag-commit. Mag-commit.
Commitment, no?
Ayun. Yun. Tapos, um, the usual long walks para nga for sanity. And nanonood na ako ulit ng mga K-drama. I'm slowly trying to watch K-drama. So,
Nakiligin ulit.
my roommate is Gumiho. So, si Yeri tsaka si Jang Kyung. So,
B! B, pang 90s kid pa yung may roommate isa gumiho.
tinapos kasi sila sa FYP ko na parang si Junkie yung kay Yeri. Super love ko si Yeri. Tapos parang single na siya ulit. So, ay shit, bagay sila. Ayun. So, sa mga hindi pa nakakapanood, panoorin yan. Nakakakilig. Ayun po. Yun lang naman. Ikaw, how was your week?
Ako actually parang lumipas lang tong linggo na to.
Or,
So,
sorry yun.
sobrang busy sa work.
Mm,
Busy pa din. Alam mo naman ako, ang dami kong ginagawa, ang dami kong trabaho.
mm,
Tapos, uh, in terms of personal, actually last Sunday, yung last na nag-usap tayo, ayan, nag-meet ako ng Alumni Association,
wow.
na-elect ako as board of director, ganyan. Tapos this week, meron pang after this day, madami pa akong ganap.
Mm,
Meron akong ganap for election naman ng officer sa
mm,
board, ganyan. Tapos magpa-facilitate ako ng book club event for silent reading. So medyo madami pa akong in store for this week. Yan, may kakausapin pa akong client doon sa part-time job ko. So, hindi pa tapos yung week ko, pero yung past 5 days ko, parang
at least.
lumipas lang.
Mm,
Kasi excited ako, mag-Japan ako next week eh. So parang sabi ko,
yes.
matapos na tong linggong na to. Ganyan. Ayun, nagbasa lang ako ng libro, nanonood ako ng series anime, Parasite. Ayan.
Mm,
Okay siya, maganda siya. Tapos ang binabasa kong libro ngayon ay Janos Silang. Last book na ako. So, ang bilis kong nabasa yung libro. For those who want to know what is Janos Silang, follow nyo ako sa aking Bookstagram. Wow, nag-promote! At Obi.read. So, I post a lot about my book reading journey there. So yun nga, nagpa-facilitate ako ng mga book club events. So excited ako. Actually, may book event this week, yung Big Bad Wolf
wow.
sa Arcal, Parañaque. Kaso wala na akong pera, wala na akong budget.
Magja-Japan ka,
So
ano?
sabi ko, hindi na muna ako pupunta dito sa next event na lang. So yeah, that's my week. Sobrang bahay lang, libasa lang ng libro. alam mo na inggit ako, gusto ko na rin tuloy ng physical activity. Parang gusto ko
Oo.
lang maglakad-lakad. Parang
Sa Japan,
wala na, hindi ko na alam kung paano gamitin yung paa ko. Charot.
parang 20 km ang lakaran sa Japan. So, go na. Mag-Disneyland ba
Oo
kayo?
nga eh. Baka hingalin ako pag nag-Japan ako kasi hindi na ako nilalakad-lakad. Baka pag jogging nga habang nagpo-podcast. Ala!
Kapag ano, may ko may mga Japanese ang maririnig in the background next week.
Oo, may mga Japanese kayo marinig. Ohayou gozaimasu. Watashi wa onimai. Wala. Japanese. Ayan. So, very, very quick week for me. Daming work-related issues. Pero, kasama naman yun. Kaya naman tayo nandito sa trabaho para isolve yung mga issues na yun.
Actually. Pag wala.
Okay. So, ano bang topic natin for this episode 8?
Ang topic natin for this episode is leveraging as well from the last week. Di ba? Yung sabi natin, may next topic na tayo, which is difficult conversations. How we personally deal with it, kumbaga as a recipient, and at the same time as a giver din ng difficult messages or difficult communication. And parang in worst cases, paano pag halimbawa meron mangyaring mga hindi natin inaasahan during the discourse of those topics as well.
Kung sinampal ka bigla nung kausap.
Would ka, charot.
Gulat ka, no?
Would. Ayun naman yung mga topics. Maybe you would want to go first based on your perhaps general view and at the same time personal experiences if you would have.
Siguro sa akin, difficult conversation towards me, wala pa kasi. Wala! Sobrang galing pala. Ikaw na? Hindi. Ako naman, usually, madami naman akong difficult conversation na naranasan. Even outside, even before pa ako magtrabaho. Kasi nga sabi ko nga nung mga unang episodes natin, student leader ako eh. So talagang open ako to public opinion. Talagang yung pagkatao ko ay talagang nag-a-attract ng negative conversations. So, paano ba ako mag-deal? Siguro nag-grow na lang din ako throughout my life. Na dati sobrang dibdib ko talaga. Pero, galing-galing ko, tapos gaganyanin mo ko, sampaling kaya kita. Ganyan. Parang, pwede ba, bago mo mapagalitan, dapat magaling ka din muna. Ganun ako mag-receive na parang, sino ba magpapagalit sa akin? Sino ba ito nagbibigay sa akin ng difficult conversation? Magaling naman ako dito. Tantanan mo nga. Ganun ako mag-receive dati. Sobrang, kailangan may requirement ako bago ka maging allowed. Sabihan ako ng masasamang bagay. Pero throughout the years, throughout nag-grow naman ako, siguro every difficult conversation, I usually take it as a constructive criticism. Ang anong rule ko lang para i-take ko siya as constructive criticism? Basta alam ko yung intent nung nagsasabi sa akin. Malinaw sa akin na ang intent niya ay matuto ako. At dapat itong tao na to na magsasabi sa akin ng difficult conversation is someone that I trust. Talagang pag binigyan niya ako ng difficult conversation, nagmamatter yung sasabihin niya. So, siguro ganun, natutunan ko din yung pagpili ng mga tao na tatanggapin mo yung critical criticisms. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng tao, wow, ang galing sa akin, bilang libro, people pleaser, mas hindi lahat ng tao. What I meant is, hindi naman lahat ng criticisms or difficult conversation na natatanggap natin, kailangan talagang pinoproseso natin. Kailangan mamili tayo ng mga tao na, itong mga tao na to, pag sila yung nagsabi sa akin, papakinggan ko, talagang magsi-self-reflect ako kung tama ba sila, may point ba sila, ganyan. In terms of work setting naman, sabi ko nga sa'yo, sa work setting kasi nga bida-bida naman ako, bihirang-bihira naman ako makareceive ng difficult conversation. Isa na siguro sa mga difficult conversation na naranasan ko while working, yung hindi pa daw ako pwedeng ma-promote kasi bata pa daw ako.
Oh, I remember.
So, that's the kind of difficult conversation. I was like, okay, gets ko naman na bata pa naman ako, hindi pa naman ako pwedeng magmadali, ganyan. Dapat pagdaanan ko yung mga pinagdaanan din ng mga previous managers. Pero syempre, ayun nga, kailangan at some point, alam mo when to say, this is enough. I waited so long na. So, ayun, ganun. Na, okay, gets ko naman. Gagawin ko pa din yung best ko. Salamat sa honesty, no, sa feedback. Pero, sasabihin ko din na I fully disagree sa age requirement. Ganun. So,
Okay.
makaka-receive ako ng difficult conversation, ipaproseso ko, iintindihin ko, but at the same time, I will be very honest din sa sasabihin ko, sa sasagot ko. Okay, I understand your point. That's completely clear na policy siya. But for me, this policy is not, it's not working for me. So, sabihin ko din, wag ka din mag-aalala kung maghanap na ako ng ibang trabaho kasi nahihinder yung growth ko. So, I receive conversation, pinaproseso ko, then at the same time, sabihin ko din what I truly felt during the conversation. Ayun yung mahirap eh. Pag may narinig kang hindi may feedback sa'yo, skinimkim mo, tapos paglabas mo ng conversation, tsaka mo pinag-chichika sa iba na, ano na to? Kung ano na siya sabi. Hindi ganon. Ako, usually, when I receive difficult conversation up front, sasabihin ko din up front na, okay, salamat, but this is how I felt. This is what I think about what you said. So, dapat mag-meet kami. Pag hindi kami nagkakaintindihan kasi walang sense yung difficult conversation. So, that's me. That's on my personal take on difficult conversation. Ikaw naman, Kay.
Ako naman, as opposed sa'yo na hindi sanay sa difficult conversation, na hindi nakakatanggap, ay, ang dami kong natanggap na ganyan. Kasi nga, di ba sabi ko dati, nung nag-start ako sa work, di ko naman alam yung pinasok ko, especially as an audit staff. So parang, wala talaga akong alam at all. So during those period, I would receive a lot of negative feedback. Although, generally kaya kong dalhin naman yung work ko. Pero meron talagang points for improvement and there were a lot of it. And sabi ko nga din na emotional ako dati. So isipin mo yun, di ba? Having to receive negative feedbacks and being very emotional at those instances, I was a wreck. So parang si Iyak, alam mo yun, tapos si Tampo, at the same time, yung parang hindi mo talaga ma-process yung emotion mo na ang gulo. Tapos, ayun, it would also lead to certain instances of unproductivity. Kasi nga parang, hindi ko alam, hindi lang ako marunong, hindi pa maganda yung mga sinasabi nila, hindi ako matuto. So yun, parang nakakapagod siya na cycle sa akin during that time. Kasi nga, although I would receive negative feedback, I don't know how to process and I don't know how to properly move forward from them. Parang, oh my God. Pero yun, siguro as I go through life, as I mature, as I experience a lot more, and as I realize and grow more on self-awareness, ayan, natuto naman na ako right now. And in terms of, yun nga, difficult conversation for myself, I find it through negative feedback nga na, pag may sinabi yung isang tao na hindi maganda sa akin, yun naman, similar to you, I would process it two way. One, right now, if it is valid, I would find it in myself to improve and at the same time move forward. Pero sabi mo nga, it would also depend dun sa nagbigay sa'yo ng negative feedback. Depende rin sa tao, if you know the credibility of the person, if you know the parang weight of their feedback, parang dun ka din naman talaga magkakaroon ng certain realization na, ay, oo nga, kailangan ko mag-improve. Ay, oo nga, mali yung ginawa ko. So, parang ganun naman. And at the same time, yung sinabi mo naman din na pangalawa, pagdating naman sa feedback na I find invalid, natuto naman na din akong parang contest, or not necessarily contest, but at the same time, to parang properly understand better saan nanggaling yung feedback na yun. Kasi kaya nila nasabi yun, ibig sabihin may pinanggalingan yun. And that's where further discussion would come in. And if halimbawang talagang valid, and then yun, you move forward and improve from that one. Pero if you know that it is particularly invalid despite the discussion, let it pass. Parang there's no point in parang challenging further or parang ipaglaban mo yung sarili mo na hindi, mali ka, ganito ako, hindi totoo yung feedback mo. Hindi na. Parang tapos na ako dun sa point na I would have those so much emotion or parang I would exert so much energy parang to just prove myself. So ayun, parang in terms of negative feedbacks, ayun, if it is valid, process it, let your emotions flow as much as it flows, and then improve and move forward. If you find it invalid, try to find further clarity. And if invalid talaga, then just let it pass.
Let
There's
it go.
no point in
Siguro yung pinag-uusapan natin context ng negative feedback. Usually kasi negative feedback, or I mean not negative feedback, even difficult conversation, kahit positive naman yung feedback pero difficult yung conversation. Usually nangyayari naman siya sa closed door arrangement.
True, dapat. Generally.
Majority, pag nangyari siya, yun din yung rule ko, pag nangyari siya in front of everyone, ay,
mas
hindi
mahirap.
criticism yung point nito, kundi gusto lang nito ipahiya ako.
Oh, that's
Ganun yung mindset ko na parang, if you tell this, you know, this thing about me na negative, tas sa harap ng lahat ng tao, feeling ko ang point mo lang is ipahiya ako, hindi
How do
para
you react?
improve ako.
How do you react kapag ganun?
Pag ganon,
Oo.
usually sabihin ko na, okay, titigil ba ako sa pagpipresent ko? Usually sasabihin ko, can we discuss this outside of this meeting or outside of this call? If talagang feeling ko related naman siya dun sa topic, pero talagang dinadown lang. May mga ganun kasi yung mga difficult people talaga during meetings eh. Pag feeling ko during the meeting, may nag-overpower na talagang puro negative yung sinasabi. Dito papasok yung 7 thinking hats. If you're familiar with thinking hats. There are really people that are always wearing the black or red hat.
Okay.
So bilang presider, bilang someone that wear blue hat, ang usually ginagawa ko is that nasa ano pa tayo, good points pa tayo ng project. Can we focus first on this point? And then later we'll go with the difficult ones. And then pwede natin siya doon pag-usapan. Then isa-isa, i-rank natin itong mga suggestion nyo na mukhang challenges or risk. Ano yung priority nating i-address? Kasi hindi to lahat kaya i-address within a single project. So, proseso pa din ng project management. So, siguro as someone na industrial engineer na may background on project management and facilitating nga yung meetings using the 7 thinking hats, okay din na practice pag may difficult person. Minsan sabi ko, boring ng meeting, sana may difficult people. Para ding pang shake din kasi siya ng meeting. So pag ganon, stop ka, give attention, and then pag okay na siya, proceed sa meeting. Pero binigyan mo ng attention, tapos talagang naglala palalo, ask that person, if you cannot contain yung mga negative feedback na talagang hindi ka tatahimik para hindi tayo makaproceed sa meeting, if you can respectfully step out na lang ng meeting na to, hayaan mo munang tapusin namin yung agenda, and then mag-usap tayo after.
Paano pag boss?
O di, step up din siya kung hindi siya tatahimik kasi hindi namin matatapos yung meeting eh. Either mag-step out lahat ng nasa meeting na hindi involved dun sa point mo para mag-usap tayong dalawa, or ikaw yung mag-step up, tapusin namin tong meeting na to. Ganun talaga kasi pipili ka lang tatapusin yung meeting o tatapusin yung concern mo. Parang ganun. So, pwede naman nating tapusin yung meeting cut short yung meeting, labas na yung mga hindi kasali dun sa topic, tapos mag-meeting tayo kung urgent talaga. Pero kung difficult ka talaga, kick kita. Pag online na kita dyan. Pero yun nga, the way you handle talaga is talagang kailangan may sense of ownership ka na ikaw yung facilitator.
Ako, I would have a passive approach to that one. Kung ako parang based on experience and this is likely what I would still remain to do. Whenever there are instances na there are retaliation talaga during the meeting, I just keep quiet. Pero, hindi naman doon natatapos. It's either we would have a discussion follow through or parang I would internalize as well and move forward and try to take action naman after. And at the same time, another approach is laruin mo. Di ba yung parang halimbawa, nagagalit na yung boss mo. Kasi likely, di ba sila naman yung usual na may pinanggagalingan kapag halimbawa sa meeting in terms those feedback. Laruin mo na lang, parang libangin mo. Or parang if you would find a comedic way to respond, yun yung natutunan ko na parang, kailang masyadong seryoso, teka. Parang as a coping mechanism, sige, libangin na lang natin. Yung practical approach ko right now, that's how I try to do it. Kasi it's either na super heated yung discussion na I would just tend to keep quiet and later on take charge or take action after. Or parang you would try to lighten the mood in a way na you would find yung mga comedic ways or something na fun responses towards what they are saying. Yun naman yung practical sa akin.
Yeah, yeah.
Yun naman
Ano
yung
naman yan eh, kanya-kanyang skill talaga on
So,
handling
actually,
difficult.
natutunan ko lang din
Iba,
pero yeah.
iba-ibang way. Ako din naman dati, baka hindi ka kita pansinin pag sinabihan mo ako during the meeting eh. Okay ka na? O, proceed na tayo sa next topic. Ganun ako eh. Pero, papakiramdaman mo din. Papakiramdaman mo din during public situation, tas may nagre-retaliate or may talagang agaw eksena. Papakiramdaman mo din, is this worth stopping yung topic ko para i-address yung concern niya o tuloy-tuloy tayo, hayaan mo siya. Tapos na siya, okay, you've said your piece, proceed kami sa next point.
Pero likely, kapag ganun, ibig sabihin, meron naman silang valid basis. Kumbaga may pinanggagalingan naman yun kung bakit nangyayari. So, you also just have to understand or parang have that certain empathy. Saan ba sila nanggagaling or ano yung pinaghuhugutan?
Correct. Tsaka timing din. Kasi kung uubusin niyo yung oras para i-discuss yung problema niya, kawawa din naman yung mga kasama niyo sa meeting, no? Respeto din sa oras ng iba. Kung feeling niyo yung conversation is going towards something na hindi talaga kasama dun sa meeting, ask to pause and then pwede bang tapusin mo natin yung agenda natin. So, para respect din dun sa ibang kasama niyo sa meeting. Baka nag-popcorn na lang yung mga yun pag hindi niyo sila in-address na may kasama kayo. So, siguro awareness dun sa may kasama kayong ibang tao. Awareness na may kasama kayong iba, may dapat respetuhin niyo yung oras nila, dapat i-discuss niyo yung pinunta nila dun sa meeting na yon. Bago niyo i-discuss yung difficult conversation. Just do it closed door as much as possible. So siguro yun yung way ko whenever I receive feedback. Pero yun nga, sabi mo kanina, there are other difficult conversations. Ano naman pag ikaw naman yung nagbigay ng difficult conversation. So anong proseso, paano ang pag relay ng message?
Dati, ayoko. Hindi ako nagbibigay ng negative feedback. Diba parang bawa meron akong certain resource na ka-work. Parang, sige, bigay ako feedback. Lahat ng mga magaganda nilang nagawa. And I would even parang appraise them at certain level. But then, that is a level of sugarcoating na natutunan kong hindi dapat kasi they won't be able to improve. So, yung sa akin naman, parang I have learned to have this certain level of personal relationship with my workmates, especially my subordinates, to ensure na pag halimbawang nagbigay ako ng feedback, I would give them yung great things that they have done. But then at the same time, I would also note, ito pala, kailangan we do better next time. Or parang, baka we could approach this some other way para mas maayos siya sa susunod. So yun naman, marang not really attacking them as a person kasi I've gone past through that phase. It's more of understanding kung paano sila mag-i-improve and how they would grow in the role. Yun naman yung importante. Otherwise, di kasi sila matututo and parang as much as we don't want to let them know kung saan sila nagkamali, that's critical. Kailangan nilang malaman. Ayun, how about you po?
Correct. Ako naman, meron ako mga past, mga conversation na talagang kailangan ko mag-let go ng tao because of performance issue. Sobrang hirap kasi bagong manager ako eh. So, paano ko sabihin to na sorry, kailangan kitang i-let go kasi hindi talaga nagmamatch yung requirements sa performance. Medyo mahirap siya, lalo na feeling mo as a manager minsan, fault ko ba? Bakit hindi niya nabigay yung best niya sa work?
True naman din.
So, those are the kinds of difficult conversation na ako naman, ang inisip ko na lang, parte siya ng pagiging manager natin. No? Lagi mong iisipin, yung bigger picture, yun yung akin mo. Bago ako mag-engage sa difficult conversation, ano bang purpose kung bakit gusto kong kausapin tong tao na to? Nakaka-affect na ba siya sa buong team? So, laging bigger picture ang tingin. Kasi pag pinag-initan mo na yung tao, medyo nagiging personal na yung atake. So, may proseso, no? Lagi kong sinasabi, natutunan ko lang dito sa previous manager ko. Lagi niyang sinasabi, ikaw as a manager, gawin mo lang yung best mo sa manager. Basta feeling mo nabigay mo naman lahat ng trainings, lahat ng process, lahat ng onboarding. Kasi hindi talaga nag-work, baka hindi talaga siya fit doon sa role. So, kailangan as a manager, alam mo kung ano yung mga responsibility mong ibigay, is-support. Pero alam mo din na dapat hanggang doon lang dapat. Pag if you go over them, baka masyado mo na silang binibaby or ini-spoon. So, ano ka magbigay ng difficult conversation? May proseso, may HR process naman yun usually. Daanin muna natin sa PDP, yung warning. So, hi, based on your performance, usually number person ako eh. So, ito yung mga nangyari, ito yung naging impact niya sa business, ganito yung losses natin. Hindi siya maganda. Ganun. And then, we'll give this person, ito yung mga kailangan mong gawin to improve. Para at the, let's say, 2 months, pwede tayong mag-usap ulit. Kung pwede kang ituloy or talaga kailangan itigil na. So, may process naman kaming sinusunod. And kailangan clear lang sa kanila kung saan sila nagkamali. And ako nga, number person. So, puro numbers usually pinapakita ko. Ganyan. Kasi yung personal naman, nandiyan na yan eh. Okay na, okay ka personally. Work tayo, mag-usap tayo about work. So, talagang dapat valid at meron lang basis. Yun yung lagi kong sinasabi. Pag nagbigay ako ng difficult conversation, dapat valid and may basis. So,
maganda yung sinabi mo yung parang as long as syempre nagawa mo yung part mo as a manager, you would have yung valid basis to parang provide a certain feedback to
oo, kasi hindi ka naman agad diretso sa difficult conversation.
kailangan mag-internal
Sa umpisa, napapansin mo nang bumababa yung performance, kausapin mo. Anong problema? Anong nangyari? Hindi pala, pangit pala nung problema kasi parang nakakaway ka. Parang, hi, napansin ko bumababa tong achievement natin ng target na to. Is there something that you need? Support? May nahihirapan ka ba sa process? Gusto mo ba i-shadow kita? Tignan ko kung paano mo ginagawa yung mga proseso para mabigyan kita ng suggestion kung paano i-improve. Ganon. So, okay, nakausap mo na. Tapos sasabihin niya, wala namang problema, okay naman po lahat. Parang gano'n, sige, okay, trabaho ka. Tapos pag sunod, mababa pa din talaga. Usap ulit tayo. Mababa pa din eh. So ito na, tayo ng correction plan. So, gano'n, dapat may multiple conversation. Hindi pwedeng diretso difficult ka agad. Ano yun? Nag-escalate quickly agad. Gano'n. So, dapat as a manager, babantayan mo talaga. Hindi yung pagdulo na, pag kailangang X na, tsaka mo lang kakausapin. Mali ka din doon. Kasi, hindi nga nila nalaman na mali na yung ginagawa nila. So, ano siya, hindi naman agad difficult agad. So, dapat talagang pagdadaanan niyo yung buong journey as a manager tsaka subordinate relationship.
Uy, maganda yung highlight mo kasi nga syempre whenever there are difficult conversations to be addressed doon sa certain subordinate, it would involve definitely yung HR process. So doon naman papasok din talaga na kailangan align tayo kung ano din yung dapat nating gawin in relation to the human resource policy. So yun na.
Oo naman, hindi ka mag-iimbento ng proseso, B.
Highlighting na pag halimbawa magbibigay ka ng feedback or you think na kailangan meron talagang improvement plan for a certain person, yun, kailangan guided din tayo kung ano yung proper process para ma-address
Correct. Para hindi tayo madole, be.
Pero,
Baka madole tayo niyan pag kanya-kanya tayo ng proseso. So yeah, may susunod tayong proseso and dapat align ka with HR. So, pero okay, bago umabot sa HR, kausapin mo muna yung tao mo. Talagang intindihin mo kung may hindi ka pa ba nabibigay na support. Then, pag hindi talaga nag-work, yun na, involve HR.
ganda.
So yun, I think that's how I handle conversations, difficult. Madaming difficult conversations sa work. Talagang hindi mawawala yan. Kaya kailangan lang self-aware tayo na itong difficult conversation na to, it's not about me. It's about the work that I'm doing. And it's about of course, the business. Diba? Lagi naman ganun eh. Business naman lagi yung usually source ng difficult conversation. So, wag masyadong i-dibdibin. Yun lang siguro.
Ako naman siguro din, parang to share something that I've learned. One is what we can do, based on my counseling before, you could actually journal as well. Parang rather than ranting it to your coworkers, write it down. Parang so that you could process your emotions. And at the same time, yun nga, highlighting na focus on what we control. So, focusing on what we can control includes parang focusing on our words, parang us being in the present, how we speak to ourselves, and how we respond, who we follow, tapos especially what we give our energies to, and how we move on from failure, pati na rin how we set our boundaries. So, yun naman yung overall sa akin when parang working around difficult conversations or across all kapag meron kang difficult na scenarios. Ayun. So how would you want to wrap up, Obi? I think we had a very fruitful discussion again. Any other?
Yeah, yun lang. Again, whenever we encounter difficult conversations, talagang kailangan ng pagproseso. Hindi talagang sugod ng sugod lang. Yung ano ka talaga. Huwag kang sugod ng sugod, prosesuhin mo muna, intindihin mo muna yung problema bago mo i-relay. bago mo may magandang storytelling kasi. Kahit totoo yung sinasabi mo, there's like a correct way. Lagi na sinasabi, truth hurts, di ba? Masakit. Pero kaya mo siyang i-control. Hindi naman laging kailangan masakit eh. Kailangan, minsan, ayusin mo din yung pagre-relay mo para hindi masaktan yung kausap. So, purposive din dapat talaga ang lagi ang pag-provide ng feedback. So yun lang, malapit na yata tayo mag-time. So I really enjoy this conversation. Ang tagal nito guys, first time namin mahaba ang aming discussion.
So,
So,
kailangan difficult conversation.
oo, kasi feeling ko talagang yun yung nandun yung juicy parts eh. So, ayan, maraming salamat for tuning in to this episode about difficult conversations. And again, just continue to follow us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, for more topics that we will discuss in the future. Mag-suggest din kayo. You can message us in Instagram, in Facebook, suggestion ng topics that you want us to discuss here. And yeah, sana may mga susunod ng episode. So once again, my name is Ovi.
Okay.
And we are your
Yan na.
Millennial Manager PH.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. Happy weekend. Bye-bye.